Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another vlog video. A while back, not very long ago, I reviewed the first 3 issues of Power Rangers A Nightmare on Elm Street. A fan comic that crosses over some kind of 80s horror stuff with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And also, Masked Rider is there, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, I'd really like to see the Beetleborgs and VR Troopers show up. But, yeah, the comic has been a fun ride. But the creator of that comic has said that the reason he made it is to show that Power Rangers can and should be a mature franchise. And I don't think he means take Power Rangers away from kids entirely. I think what he means is have Power Rangers like films that are just for adults and not for kids, you know? But I disagree. I completely disagree. 100%. Some shows don't need to grow with their audience. I know things like Harry Potter grew with their audience, but you know, I don't think Power Rangers needs to. I honestly don't think it needs to. The fun and charm of Power Rangers is kind of how cheesy and, you know, quirky and stuff it can be. The puns, the kind of slapstick suit actor comedy and stuff. That's what makes Power Rangers kind of great. You know? I mean, look at the 2017 Power Ranger film. That was geared for a more mature audience. It wasn't super mature, like there wasn't like a ton of F-bombs and gore and etc. But it was for a more mature audience. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like that film. But most people didn't. At least most Power Ranger fans were like, what is this? And the main reason I think people didn't like that film is because they expected an action film and they got a coming-of-age drama. But the thing is, it was also lacking so much of what makes Power Rangers so unique. You know? Like, okay, let's say you're a kid in the 90s, like I used to be. You're watching Power Rangers, and it's just regular superheroes fighting monsters. You know, you take away all the funny, kiddie stuff. That's where the charm comes from. I don't think the show would have been near as big as it was without that stuff. And that stuff is mostly copied over from Super Sentai, because a lot of the stuff that the monsters do and etc. is just straight up Sentai footage. You know? I believe that Hasbro cut ties with Toei, and they're not doing Sentai footage anymore after Dino Fury, which kind of sucks because it means I won't get American figures of a lot of Super Sentai characters that I wanted. But it's also fine. I have vlogged about that on the second channel as well. Check out the second channel. I got a lot of Power Ranger vlogs on there. But, you know, it's just, I feel like the charm from Power Rangers comes from it. And also, if you made adult-oriented Power Ranger films, you know, parents would take their kids to see them, because parents don't check the ratings on movies. They just don't, most of the time. You know? Like, every time I go to see a rated R movie, or did, pre-corona, there'd be a ton of kids in there. Every single time. I've never been to see a rated R movie where there weren't a bunch of kids in the theater. Right? So do we really need to expose kids to that? Say parents take their kids to see this mature Power Rangers movie, and then they see it and they're like, my kid cannot watch Power Rangers anymore after seeing this. Which is completely a Karen reaction that parents would have, especially in the day of helicopter parents. So, you know, and it being a kids show is what keeps incorporating new people into the fandom. That's what brings people into the show. They see it as kids and then they follow it their whole lives. Like, if you want a more mature Power Ranger option, read the comic books from Boom Studios. read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Go-Go Power Rangers, which are completed, and then read the current books, which are Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, 2 ongoing books that run alongside each other. They're great. They're more mature so that adult fans can get really invested, but they're also not so mature that kids can't read them. Boom has found the perfect, I mean it, perfect balance for Power Rangers so that a young and old audience can enjoy it. But Power Rangers, like cutting monsters' heads off and dropping F-bombs, I never want to see that. When I was in high school, a very famous, or infamous, Power Rangers fan film was released, where basically all the Rangers were dead, and like Kimberly was being held captive or something, and Zack had to go save her, but it wasn't Kimberly, it was Rita or something. I don't know, I haven't watched it in a while. But I remember watching that in high school and hating it. Because I was like, that's not Power Rangers. That's not what Power Rangers is about. That's not what it means, you know? And the person who made that fan film actually hates Power Rangers, just FYI. They openly said that they do not like Power Rangers, and they made the film because they don't like Power Rangers, and they wanted to do better. And they did worse. So yeah, I'm not for the mature Power Rangers. I can't see myself ever really getting behind that. There are Toku franchises that I'm fine with going mature, you know? Kamen Rider went mature with Kamen Rider Amazons, aka Amazon Riders, on Prime. And you know, I liked it for the first season. The first season of Kamen Rider Amazons was really good. The second season sucked ass, and the movie wasn't very good either, but the first season will always give me happy memories, at least. So yeah, some franchises can do that, because Kamen Rider wasn't really built on being, you know, as goofy and stuff. And a mature Ultraman, I feel like, works as well. We had Ultraman the Next and Ultraman Nexus, and I thought they worked great. I really did. So it's not like I don't think any tokusatsu franchise can be mature. Godzilla started out mature, for Christ's sake. Gamera went more mature with the Heisei series. You know, it can be done. But the way Power Rangers was built, the things it's known for, and the ideals that it's built on don't translate well to the more mature audience that wants the hyper-violence and stuff. You want a more mature Toku, watch, like, any of the other ones. There are so many. So many. But I mean, that's it, guys. I don't want to see a very mature Power Rangers. I don't. You know? So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. My next vlog will probably be back to Godzilla. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you all next time.